Hello everyone, my name is Josh and welcome back to my channel where I'm giving you weekly vlogs and or acting content. Today, I want to talk about my favorite franchise of all time, Star Wars. Yes, you heard me right. One of the most influential franchises across the globe, nationally. I was first introduced to Star Wars when my dad took me to a video store. I think when I was around 5 or 6 years old. He introduced me to episode 6 because I don't think he knew entirely what he was getting when he got the movie. But I watched it and I was instantly hooked. And ever since, all through my childhood, birthdays, toys, video games, I had it all. Star Wars, and it was very influential. And it made a very positive impact on my life, and I'm sure many others too. One of my favorite Star Wars video games and that was first introduced to me was Battlefront, Star Wars Battlefront. Not the Xbox One or PlayStation 4 version, but the original one for the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox. I had a PlayStation 2 at the time, but it's always been one of my favorite video games and still is to this day, even though the graphics are a little meh. So what does Star Wars mean to me? Well, I think Star Wars is the culmination of sci-fi and the human experience, all wrapped around this little idea called hope. And hope is a huge theme in Star Wars, pretty much in all of the episodes / movies. Hope in the Star Wars terms means the rebels trying to rid the evil from the galaxy and creating peace all over the galaxy. And I think that's very true and worldly too, in our own world, because I think we tried very hard to rid the evil of our own lives and of this world. And in turn, we have to have hope in order to make that happen. Yes, that is a little corny or a little cheesy, but I think it's still an important message. And an iconic one for nonetheless. When Star Wars was first introduced, May 25th, 1977, that was the premiere of Star Wars, a lot of people were skeptical. A lot of moviegoers, a lot of producers, directors, because it was unlike something that was ever created. And it was all thanks to the mastermind, George Lucas. Without George Lucas, we wouldn't have such a complex and brilliant story and universe as we do today. But once the premiered, it ended up being a smash hit across the nation. I'm not sure about the world, but I know it was just the spark of the rest of the movies, the rest of the franchise. The first episode to ever appear in theaters was episode 4, A New Hope. And yes, I said episode 4 because the chronological order, if you're not a Star Wars fan, the chronological order goes from episodes 4, 6th, and then later in the 2000s, George Lucas created the prequels, which is 1 through 3. And the prequels is just the backstory of one of the main protagonists / antagonists of Star Wars, Anakin Skywalker. And I think Star Wars revolves all around Anakin Skywalker, even though that many believe that Luke Skywalker is the true hero and rids the evil from the galaxy. I believe the exact opposite. I think Anakin is the true hero, because he was originally set to be the chosen one, as we find out later on in the prequels, and I think maybe it mentions it once or twice in the original trilogy. Even though he becomes Darth Vader, at the end, he turns back to the light side, and he destroys the Emperor and saves the galaxy. And yes, I'm gonna say destroys the Emperor, because I do not believe in the latest movies. I don't like 7, 8, 9. Those are not canon in my book. Those are canceled to me.
No.
Never. But anyways, I think Anakin is the true hero because he was set to be the original chosen one, because I think many people mistake that Luke is the chosen one, but Anakin was the chosen one all along, and he fulfills his destiny at the very end in episode 6. And Star Wars has had such an influence over the years that there has been many things created after it, like the expanded universe, expanded lore. There's things called Star Wars Legends, which are stories that are made up that aren't canon. Canon, by the way, means that it's true to the story in the franchise. I don't know how to word it any differently. It's the true story of the franchise, and Legends is just things people made up. Later on, in the 2000s, there was the TV show The Clone Wars created. Actually, the original Clone Wars was a cartoon in 2003, and then later on in 2008, they created the animated, like the CGI version of the Clone Wars, and it was probably one of my favorite shows growing up, and I recently watched it back when of last year, 2020, because the final season was coming out, and I knew just to make up my childhood, I had to watch the whole series, including season 7. Amazing. And a lot of people would say it's a kid's show, but I think not, because it deals with a lot of adult type of content, like, death, loss, a lot of adult themes. And I don't think it's necessarily just for kids. Besides the TV shows, was awesome, tons of merchandise, as you can probably tell or know. And then along with that, comic books were a big thing. I collected just a little bit of comic books at a local bookstore last year or so. But as you can tell, Darth Vader is my favorite character of all time. Even my favorite villain, my favorite character of just any series or any movie whatsoever. But of a Darth Vader comic, I think this is a Legends comic about Luke Skywalker turning to the dark side. Because originally Luke Skywalker wasn't named Luke Skywalker. He was going to be called Luke Starkiller, because he was supposed to end up, or George Lucas had the idea of Luke Skywalker putting on Darth Vader's helmet at the end of episode 6 and saying that he is now Darth Vader. But that didn't become canon, that didn't become a thing. So this is completely made up, if I'm not wrong. And then we have Rogue One, which is a recent Star Wars movie, and they turned it into a comic. And then another Darth Vader issue that was like from 2015, not sure. Now, I have not opened these, so these are just purely collectible things that I've picked up. But I would have to say that Star Wars is, like I've said, it's the most influential piece of cinema all over the world, because you have many Disney worlds in other countries that has Star Wars in it. I know Disney World or Disneyland recently got a new attraction, Galaxy's Edge, that's been around for a couple years now, and I really would love to go one day and make my very own lightsaber for $200. But besides the fact, I thought it would be really cool, or to make my own droid. Yeah, that is my short little overview of what Star Wars means to me, and why it has such an impact on my life in cinema. A story that I love to go back to every now and then and watch, because it's just addicting. Along with what I said, it has affected many people's lives, and a positive one, if nonetheless. And it just means so much to me, and I'm glad I get to share it with you on this channel. But I'm not going to go into things into detail, because I can go into things into detail in later videos. Just a quick side note, The Mandalorian is also one of my new favorite shows that's Star Wars themed. And so I'll probably doing videos on that. I'll be doing videos on just whatever Star Wars, whatever's coming up. So just stay tuned to that. I don't know what I'm going to make yet. I'm kind of just making videos on the fly, or what I feel is appropriate for me in the moment. And I'm just trying my hardest to get content out there and to, for content for you guys to watch. Thank you for joining me today, and I appreciate you all. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.